Okay, so today's topic is startup policies for innovative and sustainable women entrepreneurship. So in this topic, see, first of all, the government of India has undertaken several initiatives and instituted policy measures to foster a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in the country. Now, job creation is the foremost challenge facing India. With a significant and unique demographic advantage, India, however, has immense potential to innovate, raise entrepreneurs, and create jobs for the benefit of the nation and the world. Now, in the recent year, a wide spectrum of new programs and opportunities to nurture innovation have been created by the Government of India across a number of sectors, from engaging with academia, industry, investors, small and big entrepreneurs, non-governmental organizations to the most undeserved sections of the society. I hope the slideshow is visible now.
Visible.
Okay. So, okay. So recognizing the importance of women entrepreneurship and economic participant in enabling the country's growth and prosperity, Government of India has ensured that all policy initiatives are geared towards enabling equal opportunity for women. The government seeks to bring women to the forefront of the India's entrepreneurial ecosystem by providing access to loans, networks, markets, and trainings. So, government support can be categorized into 4 areas like training, marketing assistance, promotional schemes, and concession on excise duty. So when we are talking about the training, it includes executive development programs, management development programs conducted by the government from time to time. When we're talking about the marketing assistance, it includes single point registration schemes for manufacturers and non-cooperative societies. Then for promotional schemes, it is Made in India policies and various promotional schemes which we discussed in today's session. And when we're talking about the 4th area, that is concession on excise duty, this is with MSME with a turnover of rupees 1 crore or less are exempted from excise duty, as well as there are exemption with the entrepreneurs who are working in the rural areas. So a few of India's efforts at promoting entrepreneurship and innovations are, the first one is Startup India program. So it was launched in February 2016, and over the period it had become the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world, providing handholding, funding support, incentives, industry academia partnership to provide conducive environment for startups in the country. A COPS fund of 10,000 crores has been earmarked for the program to build a strong ecosystem by nurturing innovation and startups. 10% of the COPS fund is reserved for women-led startups, and it aims to enable economic participation of and share the benefits of India's growth among women entrepreneurs, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Since its launch in January 2016, the initiative has successfully given a head start to numerous aspiring entrepreneurs. With a 360-degree approach to enable startups, the initiative provides a comprehensive 4-week free online program, has set up research parks, incubators, and startup centers across the country by creating a strong network of academia and industry bodies. More importantly, a fund of funds has been created to help startups gain access to funding. At the core of the initiative is the effort to build an ecosystem in which startups can innovate and excel without any barriers through such mechanisms as online recognition of startups, then Startup India Learning Program, then facilitated patent filing, easy compliance norms, relaxed procurement norms, incubator support, innovation focused programs for students, then funding support, tax benefits, and addressing of regulatory issues. So towards this end, at least one woman and one individual from the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe communities are granted loans between rupees 1 million to rupees 10 millions to set up greenfield enterprises in manufacturing, services, or the trading sector. So the Stand Up India portal also acts as a digital platform for small entrepreneurs and provides information on financing and credit guarantee. Then another one is Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. This is a scheme being implemented by Khadi and Village Industries Commission as the nodal agency to KVIC directorates, state Khadi and Village Industries boards, district industries centers and banks. It is credit-linked subsidy scheme to promote and set up MSMEs and to generate employment in rural and urban areas. For setting up new enterprises, subsidy level in the program to special categories including women is 25% and 35% in urban areas and rural areas as compared to 15% and 25% in respective areas for general category. Then another one is Make in India. Designed to transform India into a global design and manufacturing hub, the Make in India initiative was launched in September 2014. It came as a powerful call to India's citizens and business leaders and an invitation to potential partners and investors around the world to overhaul outdated processes and policies and centralize information about opportunities in India's manufacturing sector. This has led to renewed confidence in India's capabilities among potential partners abroad, business community within the country, and citizens at large. The plan behind Make in India was one of the largest undertaken in recent history. Among several other measures, the initiative has ensured the replacement of obsolete and obstructive frameworks with transparent and user-friendly systems. This has in turn helped procure investments, foster innovation, develop skills, protect intellectual property, and build best-in-class manufacturing infrastructure. Then next is the AIM, Atal Innovation Mission. AIM is the Government of India's endeavor to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, and it serves as a platform for promotion of world-class innovation hubs, grand challenges, startup businesses, and other self-employment activities, particularly in technology-driven areas. In order to foster curiosity, creativity, and imagination right at the school, AIM recently launched Atal Tinkering Labs, that is ATL, across India. And ATLs are workspaces where students can work with tools and equipment to gain hands-on training in the concepts of STEM. It is science, technology, engineering, and maths. Atal Incubation Centers are another program of AIM created to build innovative startup business as scalable and sustainable enterprises. And it provides world-class incubation facilities with appropriate physical infrastructure in terms of capital equipment and operating facilities. These incubation centers with a presence across India provide access to sectoral experts, business planning support, seed capital, industry partners, and trainings to encourage innovative startups in the country. Then next is the Support to Training and Employment Program for Women, which you can term as STEP. So STEP was launched by the Government of India's Ministry of Women and Child Development to train women with no access to formal skill training facilities, especially in rural India. The Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and Niti Aayog recently redrafted the guidelines of the 30-year-old initiative to adapt to present-day needs. The initiative reaches out to all Indian women above 16 years of age, and the program imparts skills in several sectors such as agriculture, horticulture, food processing, handlooms, traditional crafts like embroidery, travel, tourism, hospitality, computer, and IT services. Next is the Digital India. This is the initiative launched to modernize the Indian economy to make all government services available electronically. And the initiative aims to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy with universal access to goods and services. Now, given historically poor internet penetration, this initiative aims to make available high-speed internet down to the grassroots, and it helps number of people to get more employment opportunities in the said area. Then BIRAC, it's Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. It is a not-for-profit public sector enterprise set up by Department of Biotechnology to strengthen and empower emerging biotechnology enterprises. The ultimate goal is to develop high quality yet affordable products with the use of cutting edge technologies, and they are giving specific training to women in the area and helping them in set up their own startups in the field of biotechnology. Then this is the Department of Science and Technology, DST. It also comprises several arms that work across the spectrum on all major projects that require scientific and technological intervention. And it encourages cooperation in science, technology, and innovation through joint research across sectors and provides fellowships to scientists and researchers. And this is the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. It is a flagship initiative of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And this is a skill certification initiative that aims to train youth in industry relevant skills to enhance opportunities for livelihood creation and employability. Individuals with prior learning experience or skills are also assessed and certified as a recognition of prior learning, and training and assessment fees are entirely borne by the government under the program. Then the National Skill Development Mission. It is launched in July 2015. The mission aims to build synergies across sectors and states in skilled industries and initiatives. And with a vision to build a skilled India, it is designed to expedite decision making across sectors to provide skills at scale without compromising on quality or speed. Then Science for Equity, Empowerment and Development. SEED aims to provide opportunities to motivate scientists and field level workers to undertake action-oriented, location-specific projects for socio-economic gain, particularly in rural areas, and it emphasizes equity in development so that benefits of technology will accrue to a vast section of the population, particularly the disadvantaged. Then Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency, or Mudra, is a flagship program by the Government of India to provide funds to micro and small enterprises. Now, what sets Mudra apart from other loan schemes is the fact that no collateral is required to avail this loan, and it is applicable for manufacturing, trading, and even allied agricultural services. It has 3 modules, Shishu, Kishore, and Tarun. In Shishu, it is loan up to 50,000. Then loan between 50,000 to 5 lakhs in Kishore, and in Tarun loan between 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Then NABARD is there, which is again providing loans for the setup of industries in the rural areas, and it provides finance to lending institutions in villages particularly. So with schemes for food processing plants and integrated rural development, NABARD works in conjunction with the RBI to implement and regulate financial assistance in rural areas. Its Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme offers up to 90% of the project cost, where minimum 10 lakhs to maximum 150 lakhs to budding entrepreneurs. Then another is the UDAN. This is the Credit Guarantee Scheme. The CGT MSC, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, was set up by the Government of India to provide business loans to micro and small industries with zero collateral. This means that new and upcoming startups can avail loans at highly subsidized interest rates without providing any security. So here the government provides a maximum amount of up to 100 lakhs under the scheme, and for boosting new enterprises as well as rehabilitating existing ones. So primarily for manufacturing units, this loan can be availed in the form of working capital or term loan. The Newgen IEDC last year only. This is the Newgen Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center, is applicable to industries like healthcare services, chemical, hardware, aeronautical, defense, IT, augmented reality, virtual reality, construction, design, food and beverages, textiles, nanotechnology, renewable and non-renewable energy sources, and it provides a one-time non-recurring loan of up to 25 lakhs to finance startups. Then SMILE, SIDBI Make in India Soft Loan Fund for micro, small and medium enterprises. It provides soft loans to MSME units at reasonable rates to meet the debt equity ratio of a unit or to help in its growth and expansion. The loan is applicable for a maximum period of 3 years, and the amount disbursed varies on the category the unit falls under, with 10% or a maximum of 20 lakhs for general category and 15% or a maximum of 30 lakhs for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, people with disability and women. Then another is the Rural Small Business Development Center. It is a government center sponsored by NABARD for micro, small and medium business, which is set up by World Organization. And the primary purpose is to work for socially and financially disadvantaged people and groups. These programs motivate various unemployed youth and young women learn different trades and introduce them to other good benefits from it. Then NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation, set up in 1995 by the government to popularize and support small business, focusing on commercial aspects. Important function are supply imported goods, machine on hire purchase agreement, procurement of supply imported indigenous raw materials, developing small business by importing their products, supervising services and awareness on technical upgradation. Now, these are the general schemes, loans provided the government of India to promote the entrepreneurship. Now, we will look after the schemes which are specifically for women entrepreneurs. So, this is the Indian government schemes for the women entrepreneurs of today. Now, women entrepreneurs are critical to the economic growth of any country, which can be realized only by encouraging equality and enhancing opportunity for women in all walks of life. The inequalities and a huge gender gap persist in business in India, even though it has been well established through various research studies worldwide that female found and co-founded enterprises perform better than those managed with all males. Women secure higher than the man in key skills related to a business enterprise like teamwork, problem solving, and orientation. So it was the realization of immense untapped women's potential that Government of India has taken many policy initiatives for mainstreaming women and to provide them a level playing field so that they could put their best in the country's economic growth. Now, women in India run around 8 million enterprises, constituting about 14% of the total entrepreneurs. The figure may not encourage when we see that women constitute 48.95% of the population, but the situation is then away promising as 35.5% of startups have women as directors and 58% of entrepreneurs started their business at the age of 20 to 30 years. As such, any success to increase the number of women-led enterprises or for increase in their productivity has a direct bearing on the country's economy. In India, micro, small and medium enterprises development organizations, various state small industries development corporations, nationalized banks, and even NGOs are conducting various programs, including entrepreneurship development programs, to cater to the needs of potential women entrepreneurs who may not have adequate educational background and skills. The Office of DC in MSME has also opened a women's cell to provide coordination and assistance to women entrepreneurs facing specific problems. Now, there are also several other schemes of the government at central and state level which aid with setting up training and income generating activities for needy women to make them economically independent. Like SIDBI has also been implementing special schemes for women entrepreneurs. Now, in addition to the special schemes for women entrepreneurs, various government schemes for MSME also provide certain special initiatives and concessions for women entrepreneurs. For example, under Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, preference is given to women beneficiaries. So, government has also made several relaxations for women to facilitate the participation of women beneficiaries in this scheme. Similarly, under the MSE Cluster Development Program by Ministry of MSME, there is between 30 to 80% of the total project in case of hard intervention. But in case of clusters owned and managed by women entrepreneurs, contribution of the Ministry of MSME could be up to 90% of the project cost. Similarly, under Credit Guaranteed Scheme, Fund Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprise, the guaranteed cover is generally available up to 75% of the loans extended. However, the extent of guarantee cover is 80% for MSE operated and or owned by women. Some of the special schemes for women entrepreneurs implemented by the government bodies and allied institutions are I'm showing here. So first one is Annapurna scheme. offered by the State Bank of Mysore, the scheme provides loans to women entrepreneurs who are working towards setting up small businesses in the food catering industry. The maximum amount of money that is granted under this scheme is rupees 50,000, and the amount granted can be utilized to fulfill the working capital requirements of the business, like buying utensils and other tools and equipments. Now, realizing the above, the Ministry of Women and Child Welfare brought out the draft National Policy for Women in 2016, which emphasized that all important micro-level policies needed to be engendered and mainstreamed to address women's concern for being an equal partner in the country's development. The draft includes large number of policy statements for raising the visibility of women in economy, which inter alia includes entrepreneurship development, training and skill upgradation, support to women farmers in their livelihood, etc. Now, MWCD has been working to remove all impediments for women to become a successful entrepreneur and to create conducive environment for providing support in different areas where they have been facing difficulties due to explicit reasons, like access to finance, access to latest skills, technology, access to market, access to business skills. So many programs have been undertaken by different ministries of Government of India for encouraging entrepreneurship in the country, wherein care has been taken to ensure adequate participation and share of women by way of special provisions and added incentives for them. Then next is the trade. It is trade related entrepreneurship assistance and development. So to address the critical issues of access to credit among India's underprivileged women, the trade program enables credit availability to interested women through non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and as such, women can receive support of registered NGOs in both accessing loan facilities and receiving counseling and training opportunities to start proposed enterprises in order to provide pathways for women to take up non-farm activities. The next one is Udyogini scheme. Now, it is sanctioned by the Government of Karnataka in the year 1997-98. Sorry. In the year 1997-98, the scheme assists women in gaining self-reliance through self-employment, especially in the trade and service sector. Offered by Punjab and Sindh Bank, the scheme empowers women by providing them loans. And under this scheme, the maximum unit cost is rupees 1 lakh. For the age limit for the beneficiary is 18 to 45 years, and family income limit to avail this benefit is rupees 40,000 per annum for all women, including those belonging to scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. Now, the scheme has really made a difference in preventing women entrepreneurs from private borrowing at higher rates of interest. Then the next one is Micro and Small Enterprises Cluster Development Program. The Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India has adopted the cluster development approach as a key strategy for enhancing the productivity and competitiveness as well as capacity building of micro and small enterprises and their collectives in the country. Now, a cluster is a group of enterprises located within an identifiable and as far as practicable contiguous area or a value chain that goes beyond a geographical area and producing same or similar products, complementary products or services which can be linked together by common physical infrastructure facilities that help address their common challenges. Now, the objective of this scheme is to support the sustainability and growth of MSEs by addressing common issues such as improvement of technology, skills and quality, market access, etc. Then capacity building through formation of self-help groups, consortia set up common facility centers for testing, training, raw material depot, then effluent treatment, complementing production processes and so on. So women-owned enterprises are given special consideration in all the programs. Next is the Mudra Yojana scheme for women. The government launched the Mudra Yojana scheme to help women entrepreneurs particularly to start new enterprises like a beauty parlor, tailoring units and other small business. If the loan is granted, a Mudra card will be given to the borrower, which functions in the same way as a credit card, but the difference is that the funds are available, are limited to 10% of the loan granted. Then next is the Mahila Koir Yojana. So Mahila Koir Yojana is a welfare scheme, purely empowerment program specially designed for the welfare of the rural women of the nation, which aims to provide self-employment opportunities to the rural women artisans in coir producing regions. Under this scheme, the Coir Board provides 75% cost of motorized rat or motorized traditional rat as a one-time subsidy, subject to a maximum limit of rupees 7,500 for motorized rat and rupees 3,200 for motorized traditional and electronic rat. Now, any women artisans who have completed the training program in the spinning of the coir yarn through any of the training centers of the Coir Board is eligible to apply for this scheme. Then next is Orient Mahila Vikas Yojana scheme. Now, Oriental Bank of Commerce launched a scheme called Oriental Mahila Vikas Yojana, which provides loans to women who hold a 51% share capital individually or jointly in a property. The amount of loan ranges from 10 lakhs to rupees 25 lakhs without any collateral required and repayment within 7 years. Then next is Dena Shakti scheme. This is offered by Dena Bank. The scheme provides financing to women entrepreneurs working in the fields of agriculture, manufacturing, microcredit, retail stores, or small enterprises. Now, the maximum ceiling limits that can be considered for financing to women beneficiaries under this scheme will be as per the directives of Reserve Bank of India, stipulated for various sectors under priority sectors such as loans up to rupees 20 lakhs under retail trade, rupees 20 lakhs under education and housing, and rupees 50,000 under microcredit, as well as bank specific schemes circulated to branches or offices from time to time. Then next is the exhibition for women under promotional package for micro and small enterprises under marketing support. So for encouraging women entrepreneurs to take part in international exhibitions, certain provisions like free space in exhibitions, then economy class airfare or for one woman representative, and shipping cost up to rupees 1,500 is reimbursed. Then next is the Kerala Startup Mission. Now this supports women startups with a soft loan scheme for an amount limited to rupees 15 lakh as working capital for implementing works and projects received from the government departments and public sector undertakings in Kerala. Now the soft loan has 6% simple interest and must be repaid in 1 year or on completion of project with full settlement, whichever is earlier. Then next is the Stand Up India scheme. As part of MSME policy, the program was launched on 5th April 2016 for facilitating credit to women entrepreneurs with an objective of providing loans ranging from rupees 1 lakh to rupees 1 crore to at least one woman entrepreneur by one bank each. In case of non-individual enterprise covered under the scheme, 51% of the share capital and controlling stake should be that of the woman. The scheme focuses on only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and women entrepreneurs. Then next is the Udyam Shakti portal for women entrepreneurs. Now, an initiative of Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises launched on the eve of International Women's Day 2018 for nurturing social entrepreneurship, creating business model revolving around low-cost products and services. It caters to the need of around 8 million Indian women and others to start, build, and grow business and aid with preparing business plan, incubation facility, training programs, providing mentor, market survey facility, etc. Project with maximum cost of rupees 25 lakhs are covered under the scheme. Rupees 10 lakh cost is for service-based projects. The portal has been incessantly involved in revolutionizing the role of women outside the four walls of their home. Then next is the Then economic empowerment of women enterprise and startup by women in collaboration with the German-based development authority is an initiative by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurs and provide incubation and accelerating program for women micro entrepreneurs to start new business and scale up existing enterprises. At present, the project is in operation in the states of Assam, Rajasthan and Telangana. Then next is the Udyam Sakhi. Ministry of MSME launched Udyam Sakhi, a network for nurturing social entrepreneurship, creating business models revolving around low-cost products and services to resolve social inequities. The portal who have started or running their own businesses through its platform for entrepreneurship, learning tools, incubation facility, training programs for fundraising, providing mentors, one-on-one investor meet, provide market survey facility and technical assistance. Then next is the financing schemes offered by banks, and many banks have schemes to support entrepreneurship among women by providing certain concessions in the rate of interest, collateral security, etc. Now some of these schemes are like, first one is your Shri Shakti package for women entrepreneurs. Now SBI run scheme offering concession to women with majority ownership over 50% in a business, provides interest concession 0.05% on loans exceeding rupees 2 lakhs with no security for loan up to rupees 5 lakhs. Then next is the Sant Kalyani scheme. Central Bank of India scheme for new entrepreneurs and self-employed women for macro or small enterprises. They give loan up to rupees 1 crore without any collateral security. Then next is the Mahila Udyam Nidhi scheme. This is offered by Punjab National Bank and SIDBI to support women entrepreneurs to set up small new scale ventures, extending loan up to rupees 10 lakhs to be repaid in 10 years. Similar support to women enterprises is being offered and loan even up to rupees 1 crore without any collateral security to women entrepreneurs. To name a few, Oriental Mahila Vikas Yojana scheme by Oriental Bank of Commerce, then Bharatiya Mahila Bank Business Loan, Dena Shakti scheme by Dena Bank, Udyogini scheme by Punjab and Sindh Bank, and so on. So the list is big here. Now, realizing the importance of these programs and to motivate and encourage more and more women and girls to convert themselves into entrepreneurs, the National Commission for Women celebrated its 26th annual day with a panel discussion on empowering women through entrepreneurship at India Habitat Center, New Delhi on 31st January 2019. Huge gathering of young women, students from different colleges and universities with 5 eminent panelists evoked considerable interest and active participation of audience. Similarly, National Commission for Women held a consultation on assisting women-led enterprises in collaboration with Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises on 11th March 2020 at India International Center, New Delhi, just before the pandemic lockdown. The consultation was attended by women entrepreneurs, NGOs and senior officers of Government of India and was intended to prepare a roadmap for reaching out to the clusters of women-led MSME with the objective of improving their skills in Mathis. Then Commission had also organized regional seminar on the subject at Shillong, Meghalaya on 15th March 2019 in collaboration with Meghalaya State Commission for Women. And at Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu on 2nd August 2019 in collaboration with Tamil Nadu National Law University, and at Jammu University, Jammu on 22nd January 2020. Then the Women Entrepreneurship Platform, WEP. Niti Aayog has launched a Women Entrepreneurship Platform for providing an ecosystem for budding and existing women entrepreneurs across the country. SIDBI has partnered with Niti Aayog to assist in this initiative, and as an enabling platform, WEP is built on 3 pillars: Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti, and Karma Shakti. Ichha Shakti represents motivating aspiring entrepreneurs to start their business. Gyan Shakti represents providing knowledge and ecosystem support to women entrepreneurs to help them foster entrepreneurship. And Karma Shakti represents providing hands-on support to entrepreneurs in setting up and scaling up businesses. In addition to providing services such as free credit ratings, mentorship, funding support to women entrepreneurs, apprenticeship, and corporate partnership, WEP will encourage entrepreneurs to share their entrepreneurial journeys, stories, and experiences to nurture mutual learning. This platform, as a driver of change, also promote offline initiatives and outreach programs to promote entrepreneurial spirit among potential women entrepreneurs in collaboration with partner organizations. Also, it offers incubation and acceleration support to women-founded, co-founded startups through its various partners who handhold women entrepreneurs registered with WEP and provide them necessary support to help them start and scale up. So these are the different initiatives taken by the Government of India to promote women entrepreneurship in the country to achieve the, or you can say to advance the economy of the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. बहुत धन्यवाद। इससे सारे स्किल्स के बारे में डिटेल में और मेरा ऑडियंस से रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा कि प्लीज अगर आपको क्वेश्चंस हैं तो कमेंट बॉक्स में कमेंट्स करें, हम उस क्वेश्चन को लेने का प्रयास करेंगे।
Sir, I started a little late due to technical issues, but I tried my level best to cover it in the scheduled time.
No action. If any question, please comments on comment box.
So here I have shown almost 40 plus schemes by the Government of India for the support of women entrepreneurship in the country. So there may be few more schemes. I am able to get 40 plus. These are 43 or 44 schemes, provided by the Government of India for the support of entrepreneurial activities in the country, specifically for women entrepreneurs.
Presentation को start कर देंगे। I think Najrul Islam will take question. What is the success rate of all the scheme? What you mentioned, ma'am? Success rate के बारे में उनका प्रश्न है। आप सुन पा रही हैं मैम?
Yes, sir. Your question is?
What is success rate? Success rate of all the schemes.
Sir, if we are talking about the success rate of all these schemes, obviously they have different analyses of all these schemes, even but you can say it completely depends on scheme. Number of schemes are there which are like DST. Even if I'm talking about all the researchers in various universities who are working for women entrepreneurship or various innovative projects, then DST is their first choice. So there are rural areas, backward areas where the people are relying on the various schemes given by the different banks, which we have discussed in the last 3-4 slides. There are number of we can say number of people are there, number of schemes are there like STEED or STEM, which are very popular and which are giving major funding for research projects specifically to women and females in the country. This was the like there is a provision that they are giving preferential rights to the women or the female researcher to go through those social projects to promote entrepreneurship in the country. There are the schemes like Udyam Shakti portals. There are schemes like Stand Up India scheme or the Kerala. Even there are the schemes, based, you can say specifically the schemes based on different states like Kerala Startup Mission. There are a few more schemes are there which are, prevailed in different states of the country and which are not working at national level, but yes, they are very much successful. If you talk about the exact success rate of this scheme, then I don't think that there is any portal who has given the exact success, aggregate success rate of all these schemes. So it completely depends on scheme to scheme. Like Dena Shakti scheme is very popular. This is the scheme given by the Dena Bank. Number of women entrepreneurs are there who are actually taking benefit from this scheme. Then Orient Mahila Vikas Yojana scheme was there. Again, this is very popular among the women entrepreneurs in the country, as it is giving the loans from 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs without any collateral. So basically the schemes which are not requiring any collateral, any security against the loans, those schemes are much more popular than the schemes which are asking for some collateral money. So even Mahila Koir Yojana, this is very much famous among the rural sector of the economy. So it completely depends on the person. Mudra Yojana again is very popular at national level. Number of people knows about Mudra. There is a good promotion by the central government for this Mudra Yojana scheme. Various programs, various promotional, promotions has been done for this scheme through televisions, newspapers, and even radios, broadcast channels. So Mudra is very much famous. It's all about what knowledge people are having. Number of times it happened that people are not having the knowledge of all these schemes, given by the government of India, and they simply relies on the loans provided by the scheduled banks. So it depends on the scheme to scheme and the area where it is like there is a scheme for micro cluster development program. So the people from who are looking for the women entrepreneurs who are looking for micro and small entrepreneurial firm for their cluster development, in that the scheme is best for their for their startup venture. So completely depends on this requirement in which sector the woman is going to open its entrepreneurial setup, or in which sector she needs training and wants to go for. So completely depends. Yes, but there is one common thing in all these schemes, that the people are preferring those schemes which are not requiring any collateral security against loans, as compared to the schemes which are asking for some collateral money, because these are the schemes meant for women entrepreneurs majorly from rural areas, from villages, and they are not having that much money, and that's why they are looking for loans. So if we are talking about men, they usually arrange collaterals also, but in the case of women, no one supports them. So that's why government has opened these much schemes for the upliftment of the women, so that they can be independent in their decisions. So that's why they give them this freedom that they can took loan under various schemes of the government without providing any collateral security. So that's the good thing which is actually motivating the budding women entrepreneurs to go into the field. Sir, you are mute. If any other participant is having any other query, please ask. Yeah, I can see some questions in the chat box. First of all, you are asking that on which website all these schemes of women entrepreneurship development projects are accessible. So, Dr. Santosh, there is not any one particular website in which you can see, some of these schemes are there for women entrepreneurs under Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. Some of these schemes are under Atal Innovation Mission. Some of these schemes are under central government or like state government like Kerala.
रोज बनाने की जरूरत बस।
So for that, you have to, check different websites depending upon your interest that in which area you are looking for. Yes, your next question is that is there any scheme for illiterate women of rural areas? Yes, there are number of schemes for illiterate women of rural areas. Like the one I am remembering right now is the Mahila Koer Yojana. That is completely for illiterate women of rural areas in which government is providing them crafting machines as well for the production of the coil. Then the next question I can see here that whether any scheme for women self-help groups development. Yes, sir. Number of schemes are there which I have discussed with you in this session also, which is actually helping women self-help group development. Number of schemes are there like that women entrepreneurship platform WEP, in which they are focusing on 3 pillars: Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti, and Karm Shakti. So that is again a women self-help group development scheme. Then there is one Shri Shakti package women for women entrepreneurs is there. Then Udyam Sakhi is there. So there are a number of schemes provided by the government of India, which is actually helping women self-help groups development. Even the government is providing executive development programs time to time to the budding women entrepreneurs so that they can learn the skills required to run their own setups. So basically I can say even the government is focusing more on rural areas and the illiterate women, because the women who is literate or who is in urban area, they are still independent and they know how to proceed with the work. The major problem is facing by the backward areas of the society, in the rural areas, in the villages, where people are not having any access, they are not having any knowledge, and their mindset is very traditional, specifically if we are talking about the women entrepreneurs. So that's why government is focusing on that particular area in a major way. If you can, go through all the schemes which we have discussed today, majority of these schemes are for rural areas and illiterate women and, backward section of the society. There are a number of schemes even which are not specifically for women entrepreneurs, which I have discussed in the beginning. Even in those schemes, some of the areas are there, which is like they are giving preferences to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and women entrepreneurs. So that's the main motive behind all these schemes of the government to promote the advancement in the country through villages, through rural development of the country. Any other question you may type in the chat box. I will definitely reply.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Question है मैम, शिवानंदा जी का था, वुमेन्स के बारे में ही क्वेश्चन था। और एक क्वेश्चन है शर्मिली बनर्जी जी का, what kind of products qualified for those scheme? Can you please give a few examples?
Your voice is not clear.
Okay, now clear?
Okay.
इनका क्वेश्चन ये था मैम, what kind of products qualified for those scheme? Can you please give a few examples?
Qualified for what, sir?
Qualified for those scheme.
You are talking about the products in which they can open the startup. Sir, completely depends. Like there are some schemes I have given you, the various schemes like where, government is focusing on like Mahila Koer mein there is a specifically about the rafting thing. Now there are the schemes in which the government is imparting skills if they want to open their tailoring, units, or if they want to open their beauty parlors. Then there are schemes in which government was providing, in which the government is providing some loans or funding for the production and manufacturing services as well. It is not like that if the entrepreneur is a woman, she can go only for the tailoring entrepreneurial setups or tailoring business or the beauty parlor business or the choir business only. So the government is proposing, even in the beginning I said that the studies have shown that women are much more successful than men when we are talking about the teamwork and the execution and decision making and leadership qualities. So the government is not focusing only on these types of products. Even if you are looking for some proper entrepreneurial setup in which you want to, you know, set a manufacturing unit of any kind of product as well. In that case also, government is providing full assistance. It's not about that in some specific products. Government is not focusing on any particular product or services. Government is focusing on the rural development. Government is focusing on the women empowerment in the rural areas, because an empowered woman can build up the area and can motivate number of girls and women in that area for the, you know, advancement of that area. So even if you can see, there are a number of schemes for the special economic zones in which government is providing subsidies, government is providing exemptions in excise duty. The same way government का जो main focus है, that the main focus is on the upliftment of the backward areas of the country, upliftment of the rural areas, villages and women of the country. It is not depending on any specific product or services that it is promoting. Its main focus is to promote on the women entrepreneurs, is to promote the villages, the rural areas, backward areas of the country.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सारी टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम आने के बाद भी आपने सेशन कंटिन्यू किया और आज की सेशन हम यही समाप्त करेंगे, क्योंकि सारे योजनाओं की जानकारी लेकर आपने बहुत शॉर्ट टाइम में जो है हम सबको उपलब्ध कराया। और